question.
I was wondering, whenever you do web design, does that count as a art per se, or?
Yeah, it falls under the graphic design things. I mean,
It's professional art.
yeah, it's commercial art is, well, there's so much. There's so much. Everything is art if you want to get down to it, though, because like my dad is a engineer, and he just comes up with these things that work and do these things. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. And it's really just, you know, something like making the radio in my car work through this really elaborate device that's tucked under my, like, I have a super secret switch, a spy switch now, and it goes through every, like, all I have to do is flip the little panel, switch any of the switches, and I can listen to anything you plug into my car. Yeah, and I'm like, that's an art form I'll never understand. So, but yeah, no, web designs, what people get confused because they think that web programming isn't artwork either, but you have the same thing. There's a million different ways to do just the same thing in web design and web programming, and so yeah, it's an art form too.
Yeah, pretty much everything's
usually it's
broken down.
classified as layout.
Yeah, and once again, that's another thing you put on your resume. You know, I'm in charge of, actually I need to put that on my resume, so I'm in charge of our website. But yeah, you know, if you're going the professional route, you're building that resume. That's the thing with resumes, is that you can put just about anything you could think of. You know, like if you're going to singing, you know, hey, I was in the church choir way back when. You know, if you're doing artwork, hey, I did this website. You know, I did this flyer, I did this little mini comic. I mean, anything, you know, looks good.
Yeah, you really got to.
I even put going to conventions on my resume.
So there you go, public speaking. You know, I mean,
You'd be surprised how much stuff that you're doing right now is really relevant to that would look good on a resume, especially for anything that you're doing.
yeah, the only bad resume is a short one.
Yeah.
You know, you want as much stuff, you know, and like I said, it sounds silly. You know, it sounds silly, but, you know, for example, I'm here right now. I could put, you know, public speaking. I gave a panel at this convention, you know, or, you know, like I said, the website design, even though it's, you know, just our cheesy little website and, you know, we got, what, 12 hits the other day. You know, it's still something you've done.
I'm like really not really good at that, and I do love online.
Creative writing.
And usually, like I like to make up characters, but like I'm okay with art, but I'm not that good at it. So I actually want to find artists to draw out my work for me. But like I make up a lot of characters, but I could say I easily have 100 characters because I'm like really major into this, and I go intricate detail, you know, abilities, age, powers, what they look like. I mean everything. Yeah, you can give each one of them their own history. And I have so many. I used to have it on paper, but my folders can be really, really thick. So I'm trying to transfer.
That's actually how this comic came into existence.
I'm trying to put all of it onto a website, and like I know some about web design and some of the more basic stuff, and I'm fairly certain I can make my own website if I wanted to. But there's a few unknown factors that, and like I'm wondering.
It's really funny because you actually find.
Well, like one, it's like I don't know. Do they like? Do you have to pay a fee or anything to get your own website or?
You do.
I know there's like a lot of like hosting places, but I didn't really want to go for hosting, so I want something else.
I interrupted her. Go ahead.
There's actually a lot. If you actually on host sites, do have where you can purchase your own. Like there's Yola, there's Yahoo, there's all kinds of other ones.
GoDaddy.
Yeah, and it ranges from prices. Supposedly Yola is one of the cheapest I've found. I think it's $50 a year. I believe that's the cheapest. I used to pay like $50 to $60 a year with Yahoo, and I didn't even have my own name. It was just my own website. It didn't have ads. If one my own name would be more expensive. So yeah, there's basically you start off with host sites, and then you don't have to get theirs. You just basically on their server, whatever you call it, you basically pay them like yearly or monthly, and you get your own name. You can get your own name, Coke.com or whatever. You know, it basically works. Yeah, there's a lot of places.
Now, getting a little on the technical side, when you talk about the website name, that's called a domain. Okay, that's your domain. Like, for example, our domain is FirstStormManga.com. You know, we bought that, we paid for that. That's ours. You know, and then the second part of that is hosting. And that's where you have a computer somewhere out on the internet with your files, your pages, your stuff, so that when I type in, you know, www.firststormmanga.com, the internet knows where to find it. It's on this particular computer, here's the stuff, you know, here you go, here comes the webpage.
Yeah, it is. just
You know, so there's two parts. There's domain registration where you basically kind of, you know, plant your flag and say, hey, this is, you know, mywebsite.com. You know, mine. You know, that's one part, and that's going to be you're going to pay a yearly fee for that. It's usually not going to be a lot. For example, GoDaddy, that's their, you know, big thing that you see with the sexy girl and the, you know, all that stuff. You know, so you'll pay about don't pay more than $9-10 a year for that. That's pretty inexpensive. And like I said, that's you planting your flag, saying, hey, this is my website, this is my name, you can't have it. You know, and the hard part is finding one that isn't already taken. You know, for example, I tried as many derivatives of randomizer I could find, but everybody, well, that's my personal thing. But and it's like, well, randomizer taken, the randomizer taken, my randomizer, oh, that was taken too. Well, I'll just put a 9 on the end. Oh, it's open, yay, that's fine. You know, so that's going to be the hard part. And then you get into what is called hosting. Hosting is where you pay somebody, you know, either a monthly or a yearly fee to basically have that computer on the internet with your website on it, you know, and then of course when you type, you know, www.mywebsite.com, your stuff's on that computer and it'll get sent out to the world. You know, so there's two halves to
that.
that.
He mentioned that the fact that it's a two-part thing. If you do want the domain name, then yeah, you can buy it and still go with, you know, like this. There's even free services out there. You're going to face a lot of limitations, but it is a great way to learn. I'm really shocked at how nice the free web hosts? I think is what it's called. It's freewebs.com. Yeah,
I'm paying for mine, so I guess.
Right, but I'm paying for mine too. But it doesn't stop me from looking. I'm always curious.
Yeah, how many
because
hits do you get per month? I'm sure you get.
Me? Oh God. I stopped paying attention. I'm happy I haven't hit my bandwidth limit.
I don't think I've hit 50 yet, so you know.
Yeah, and I get that maybe about an hour. So.
And that's something you have to look out for. Is that, you know, when you get hosting, you're going to be given you're going to be given a certain amount of data per month. You know, and the problem is that once you go over that, it's kind of like the cell phone thing, where you buy a cell phone, you get 1,000 minutes a month, and of course, once you get over that 1,000 minutes, they stick it to you and charge you a quarter a minute or whatever it is. Same basic thing.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned the free websites is because way back in the day, there was a chat service that we ended up role playing primarily on called Illusionary Alliance Chat, and they gave us a free, like it was actually another company, but they gave us like one little page free per character we created, and so we could link our profiles to that, and it was great because we were able to get the background, the history, and everything like that for it. And I learned the basics about web design by building these little tiny character pages, and then after I was more comfortable with paying, you know, with the idea of paying for the websites because I had an idea of what I was doing at that point, I went ahead and I dropped the free services because there are limitations there. But after I got the hang of it and started paying for it, I took off. Started doing comics, I still role play occasionally, but it's nowhere near as much anymore.
But it's a good way to get started off.
But it's
you know, because it'll be, you know.
And it's fun.
Yeah, because, you know, it'll be a while before, you know, you get that break or you'll get slashed out or you'll get dug and then, you know, you have hordes of people on your website, the server crashes and all that fun stuff. You know, but starting off, you know, yeah, I mean, go with a free service, go with, you know, Pardon?
8-bit theater was my problem.
They linked to you?
Yeah, that's my friend Brian. He's just like, I was hanging out with Heather. Like, oh crap.
Your server just died.
Yeah. Log on one day. I wonder if anyone posted. Oh, nuts. I have to pay like $50 to get my website turned back on. Yeah. So that's actually what happened with that giant webcomic community I mentioned. They had gotten to the point where they had so much bandwidth coming in that they ended up having to pay about $4,000 a month. Yeah, so much traffic from all around the world, and they couldn't keep up with it, so they just shut the site. They let the site just shut down, and haven't been able to find a replacement site for it since. Yeah.
Well, it's not a matter of finding the site; it's a matter of finding the money.
Well, well, I mean, like a service that just can handle that traffic without charging that much. It was, yeah.